Now that you've completed the general theory of gravicon solution in 2006, explaining the design of the universe with its 4 pairs of forces, its many predictions, rules, and equations, how do you feel about it?
It seems the original inspirational hypothesis that the universe is composed of equal amounts of mass and consciousness turned out to be right from the standpoint that it provided a solid basis for a series of connecting ideas that easily explains the most difficult of all questions: what caused the Big Bang? And the subsequent inspiration that by answering that question, the design of the universe would present itself also seems correct. That being said, though, is not proof that this theory is correct. After all, science is an institution that requires proof, which it should, and whether the first prediction of quantum magnetism can be substantiated by experiments will in part depend on whether it can be measured with the sensory technology of today, and to a greater extent whether the original hypothesis is accurately based.
Well, let's suppose that that's the technical answer to the question. However, you have worked on this theory for 17 years, so you must have a more personal way of viewing it.
Yeah, that's a nice challenge, too. I did think of this perspective at one time. As I purview the full scope of this theory, a certain analogy presents itself that humankind has endeavored over time to seek out truth with celebrated individuals like Copernicus, Galileo, Darwin, Newton, Einstein, Hubble, Andrew Carter, and all the others that have added their insight, opening a door to our universe with peaks in its design. And now solving for the unknown, these many numerous discoveries have been linked into a unified general theory, which reaches out to open this door the rest of the way for us individually and collectively to step through and gaze with astonishment at the sheer beauty of its perfected design.
Oh, that was beautiful. Do you have any final thoughts?
Thank you. Actually, I have 2. The first is, instead of science just trying to find a purely physical reason for what caused the Big Bang, maybe you should try to find a flaw in this theory to discredit this model as a possibility. Disprove the first prediction of quantum magnetism, which will prove the Big Bang occurred for some reason other than the transfer of energy from the release of a thought at rest. Because without proof to the contrary, this theory not only explains what caused the Big Bang, but why we will all eventually converge back into one God to initiate a whole new universe.
Okay, you said there were 2 thoughts. Your second thought?
The second and much more profound thought is this paradigm shift humankind is about to transition through, which will take many decades or even centuries to fully embed, reminds me of a scene from a movie called Dune, in which the leader of his people wakes from a dream that causes him to achieve an elevated level of understanding, and he yells up to the sky, "Father, the sleeper has awoken!" And the analogy to that scene is that our consciousness will finally be waking up from a multi-billion-year sleep, suddenly becoming self-aware of the true intent of our existence, which is to experience every level of consciousness on the way back up to the God level, with each higher level bringing with it greater understanding for the world around us, coupled with deeper levels of love connection to the people we know. So in this analogy, Father is God, and those who embrace this paradigm shift are the sleepers that have awoken.
Oh, wow, I'm blown away. This is very contemplative stuff. Are all your theories this deep?
I tell you what, instead of discussing my theories, maybe we should discuss your world history textbook over some sushi.
Oh, wow. Somebody interested in my textbook. That's a new one. But sushi sounds great.
I want to know all about it. I like history. It always repeats itself, one paradigm shift after another.